Okay, that's kind of cool.
All right, everybody, we'll go ahead with questions for Lene Beaumont. If you have a question for Lene, please raise your hand. Use the raise your hand function. I'm gonna guess Seth has a question since he turned his camera on.
I can't even find the button. Whatever. Lene, I mean, obviously the other night Marshall was not a great, you won, but wasn't a great performance by you all. Just how did you guys, I guess, respond to that this week? And I mean, just what kind of mentality do you feel like you guys showed tonight?
Yeah, I think tonight we showed a lot of fight, and it showed a lot about our team. We've been preaching it the whole season, but after Marshall, coach had a lot of honest conversations with us. Like I said, after the Marshall game, I knew that was going to happen. We all did. Kind of established our roles, and I think everyone did a really good job responding to that and buying into it. The past 3 practices that we had, there was a different level of focus with the game plan, and just we knew we were walking into Florida State. It's a different atmosphere, and that we were going to have to bring a different level of urgency going into the game. And I think we did a great job. I think a lot of people stepped up, and honestly, coach I know is proud of our team, but I'm so proud of all the girls who contributed 1 through 14. Everyone had a role today.
Sammy, go ahead.
Hey, Lene, you guys fell behind 7 right at the start of the 4th quarter. What was the rallying point, and what adjustments did you make there to come back on that 26-15 run to end the game?
Yeah, I think right there and then you make a decision whether you want to win the game. You're going to find ways, or you could just throw in the towel. And there was no ounce of quit in our team. In the huddles that we were saying, Shay was a loud voice, of course. Z was speaking, obviously coach, hearing it from coach, that we have to find a way to win, and we're going to, I think was a lot. Again, I think it just shows the kind of personality and the characteristics of our team, that people are going to count us out. And so we have to bring that fight. It has to come from us in order. We're going to be able to dig ourselves out of holes. We're going to have to going forward. And so today was a good opportunity for that.
Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, Lene, obviously you guys had kind of a tricky foul situation as the game went on there, especially in the backcourt. Just how did you guys hold it together with all of that?
Yeah, obviously you don't want Shay Chesky to foul out. That definitely is a tough one, but I mean, props to Journey, Phoenix, Odessa, everyone who stepped up off the bench. I mean, what a play from Journey in that final quarter. And I believe the play was to give me a high ball screen type of action, but she kind of waved me off and she made something happen. And that just shows, I mean, coach has been saying since the start of the year, be ready for your opportunity, be ready for your turn. And I think as a locker room right now, we couldn't be more proud of her, because I mean, she did just that. She handled number 11 pretty well and on the defensive side of things, and then she made a great play for us to help us win the game.
Seth, you got another one?
Yeah, and Lene, obviously you had a career high 23 tonight. Just, I guess, when did you realize it was working for you, and how did you kind of find that zone so consistently?
I think going into the game, I had a different mindset. Coach expressed some of her frustration with me last game, because I was hesitant. I was passing up shots. I wasn't looking for mine. And for us to win games, I know I have to be aggressive at all 3 levels. And so going into the game, obviously the coaches were in my ear. Allie Papworth, my position coach, was just filling me up with confidence. And whether it was make or miss, I was going to have to look for my shot and try to get something going, whether it was at the rim or my 3-point shot. So it was nice to see some of those fall today.
What did Terry say to you after the Marshall game, and how did you kind of internalize that?
She expressed some disappointment in the most loving way, but basically just said, like, I need you to be a 3-level scorer, and you can't be hesitant. I'm gonna have to take you out if you're gonna be hesitant on the offensive side of things. And I also was very encouraging. I'm in the gym every day. Like, I don't miss a day, and so there's no reason why I shouldn't have the confidence going into games and being ultra aggressive on that side.
Yeah, it's still early in the season, obviously, but going into an ACC environment and, pulling out a game like this and showing everything that you guys did tonight, just what does all of that say about your team and where you guys are at, heading forward from here?
Yeah, I mean, we know we have a lot of work to do for sure. I mean, there's a lot of growth. We'll watch it tomorrow on film and get ready for Butler, but I think this really showed the growth that we've made and the strides we've made in the first couple weeks so far. We had so many opportunities in this game to have it go another way, and we put up a good fight, but just not our day, whatever it is. Let the refs get to us. We could have made a lot of excuses. And so I'm proud that we never gave in to them and that our response was ultimately, we're finding a way.
Seth, anything else?
I'm good. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Lene.
Of course.
All right, everybody. Indiana head coach Sherry Moore will make an opening statement and
Yeah.
then we'll take questions.
I'm super happy, proud of our group tonight and the way that we got the lead, lost the lead, and then fought our way back. You know, 3 people obviously fouled out. We played a double big tonight, which we've never done. And then, you know, give credit to Z makes a big play down the stretch. And then I thought, you know, obviously Journey's bucket was huge. You know, a kid that hasn't seen a lot of playing time. So took a lot of courage, and she answered the bell for us there at the end. So great win. You know, in an environment that had very few Hoosiers here and more Florida State fans, but I'm really proud of our players and just how they handled themselves. We had some adversity and they handled themselves great.
Seth, go ahead.
Terry, obviously it's early in the season. This is only game 4, but how much do you learn about your team and what this group is kind of made of mentally on a night like tonight? All the resiliency you showed. Obviously, you know, they went up by 9 points in the third quarter. They had that huge run. It kind of seemed like it was starting to fall apart. Just
Right.
how much do you learn about what this team is made of on a night like tonight?
Well, I mean, Seth, I think I'm still learning a whole lot about this team, and you know, we as a staff are, and I think we're learning, you know, a lot about each other, you know, and so yeah, I think it goes hand in hand. I don't, you know, but again, just the way that I thought we handled adversity. You know, we had Shea foul out, we had Phoenix foul out, you know, Vea, all of it. I mean, it was
For the most part.
I'm not Vea. Odessa, you know, just the way we got down and we came back and we stuck together. And we made, you know, we really made some nice plays there in the fourth, which, you know, I was really proud of. And, you know, just to see them, it could have gone, like you said, one of 2 ways. We could have done what we did, or we could have, you know, kind of folded because we're on the road and, you know, not performed at the level that we needed to be able to come back in the game. And so it tells me that we have a chance, you know, with this group to continue to grow and get better. As you mentioned, it's early. You know, I don't think that, you know, we're still going to have those moments where, you know, we have not, you know, but off nights. And, but tonight was a good night for us. You know, I thought after the performance in Marshall, there was a lot of frustration on all of our parts. You know, the way that they responded, I thought today we had a couple days of a lot of heart to hearts, but also meetings, clarity meetings, role meetings, with them, just to give them clarity on what we needed, what we're asking of every one of them.
Sammy and then Savannah.
Coach, I think Lene put it as you lovingly challenged her after the Marshall game. What was your message to her? And then how did you like the response of her getting a career high in points and leading the team to a win?
Well, I'm glad she used the word lovingly. And I love Bo. But Bo knows this. Bo has to have nights like tonight for us. You know, Shea obviously was great. Z, but I've been waiting for Bo to show more aggressiveness, you know, offensively for us. I think she's an outstanding player. I think she's you know, a player that we're counting on to help us, not just defensively, but certainly offensively, and to be a scoring threat for us. So it was great to be able to see, you know, watch and you know, some of those long shots go in, because I think that's where she's been a little frustrated. We need her to be more aggressive. But speaking of Beaumont, but I, you know, for her to see some of those threes go down tonight, I think is really big for her. So very proud of her.
Savannah and then back to Seth.
Yeah, you mentioned the fouls earlier, but and you had quite a few in foul trouble. How do you kind of get the team to continue to stay aggressive but also play clean?
Well, I mean, I think it's constant communication with them, you know, as far as they know. I mean, they all want to stay on the floor. This is a very physical game. I know you guys weren't here, you know, to see it, but I know you watched it. And it probably didn't tell the tale of just how physical this game was. They were physical, with us. Of course, the officials told me that they felt the same way about us, being as physical. So, it's something that, we don't want to be. We don't want to be a high fouling team, and so that's where our discipline really has to kick in. But I don't know. Maybe in hindsight, it might not have been a bad thing for that to happen tonight to us, because it really forced us to have to play some of those guys on the bench, and it's their opportunity when their number's called to come in and shine. And I thought that they did. So that's really good.
Seth and then Sean.
Yeah, Terry, specifically, I guess you guys had, Florida State made that run the third quarter. You guys went down 9 and you called timeout and just, like I said, kind of trying to just keep things together. What did you say to your team in that huddle late in the third quarter to kind of, calm everybody down, keep things on track? And how did they respond, end of the third quarter going into the fourth?
Right. Well, again, it was us just telling them that, look, we're not out of this thing yet. We have to get stops. That's where it starts. And then at that moment, it just felt like we were having a hard time. We got some good looks. They just weren't going down for us. And so you just keep reminding them, that those shots are going to fall and they got to take them when they're open. Odessa popped out. She hit a big 3 for us, there in the fourth, off a little slip action that we like to run. And she was, Z made the right play and she nailed it from outside the arc. So, there's things like that happen, obviously Journey's last play, I hope it just gives them all confidence, that when we do put them in, that we do believe in them, and we want them to, impact the game. But, it was just trying to keep us together. We talked about it, sticks in a bundle are hard to break. And so it's constant communication with us, just sticking together, throughout the highs and the lows of the game. And, Bo was very instrumental in that. Shay, even though she was in foul trouble, Shay was over there in those huddles and she was coaching them up as well. And so they were all collectively, all about how we were going to finish the game. And even, I think, one of the last ones, it was like, we're going to finish this thing, we're going to win it, and we're going to get out of here. And so, saying all the right things, which is a step in the right direction for sure.
Sean and then Sammy.
Yeah, Terry, with Florida State having Davis, who's 6'6", I think, just what was kind of the game plan of trying to kind of get her out of the game with Z and Odessa being 6'3" and kind of giving up that size?
It's just try to be physical with her, try to push her off the block. That's where she takes the majority of her shots. And so that was really the scouting report on her. She is, and then try to keep her off the glass. She is 6'6". She's, was a big target for us to really try to not allow her to come away with a lot of those offensive rebound putbacks, offensive rebound kickouts. But I thought we were physical with her from the beginning. And what she ended up having, how many rebounds did she have? 7. How many offensive? 5. So she's, that's a big kid. We don't have we're giving up a few inches. And so they gotta dig deep into their grittiness and just being relentless to try to keep her off the glass.
Sammy and then Seth.
Coach, Z took a tumble there at the end of the game. Is she okay?
She's good. Yeah, she was cramping a little bit. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. And then what makes her such a good rebounder? She had 13 rebounds tonight. I think 7 on the offensive side and 6 on the offensive side, 7 on the defensive side. Is it her footwork? Is it positioning? Because she looks real smooth down low with the footwork as well.
I think a couple things. First of all, she was cramping, and so she's good. She does that a lot. This is the kid that she works so hard, and she has a lot of sweat coming out of that body. And so, we got to make sure that we keep her hydrated, throughout practice and throughout games. But she's fine. Here's the thing with Z. She's a phenomenal athlete. But she's also one of the most coachable players I've ever had the opportunity to coach. And she and Paul work relentlessly in Cook Hall every day, every morning on her footwork, on her, the shots that she's going to in games, passing, ball handling, you name it. And so those guys have a great relationship. And I think Paul's been very, very instrumental, but also good for Z, in terms of just helping her grow her game, develop her game. And it gives her great confidence, because Paul really kind of tries to stretch her too, to try to grow her game. And I think she likes that part of it. But yeah, she's been an anchor for sure on the inside for us.
We'll wrap it up with Seth.
Yeah, Terry, you talked about the overall frustration coming out of the Marshall game, and just obviously you won that game, but y'all didn't play the way you wanted to. Just I guess what was your messaging to the team coming out of that game the last few days? How did they respond, in practice and film coming into this game, and just how big is coming a performance like tonight coming off of the game like that? How big can that be for the rest of the way?
Oh, it's crazy to think that we won and we were still so solely disappointed, maybe on the verge, a little bit of embarrassment for how we turned the ball over. And so I think everybody, especially Bo, especially Shay, Z, really took that to heart. Like, we have to grow. We have to get so much better. We have to be so much, and it's not that we're not serious. It's the remembering, it's the reps that they get, it's the stuff we do in practice, but it's also the game prep and making sure that we understand coverages and we understand where we're supposed to be on easy out of bounds plays for us, right? We still have players that will end up cutting to the wrong areas, and because of it, it botches up our any kind of execution. And so, we like I said, we hit them hard. I had a pretty in-depth role clarity meeting with them. And I think it was good for them to hear like what we as coaches are expecting and what we're wanting from them and needing from them in order for this thing to work the way we want it. And so I thought I thought they responded to that really well. Their attention to detail the last couple days, especially when we left left Bloomington and got here last night, this morning, I think it was really, really good. And so those are the things that, again, they're learning, right? This is new for a lot of them. Some of them have never prepped like this. We take a lot of pride in those scouting reports and making sure our kids, feel very comfortable about the scouting report. So, still got a lot of work to do. But again, it feels a whole lot better. It's weird. You win and you think everything's great, not great, but you feel good about it, right? This feels a little bit different for us tonight. I think maybe because we had to fight, to come back and win. And it's a win, but it feels differently for us. And I think they feel it, which is a really, really good sign. And hopefully we can, get back to Bloomington, and we got a really good Butler team that, put a nod on our head last year. So we'll have to, get back and get ready for the Bulldogs.
Seth, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.